Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the ESL Pro League Asian qualifier for going through to Odense. I'm here with Mac. How you feeling, mate?
Oh, a little bit sick actually, but other than that, great. You know.
Yeah, you got some of that PAX flu into you. I heard that.
the late PAX flu, the belated PAX flu that was a week after PAX. So some would call it the flu.
It's like one of those Trojan horse situations, unfortunately for you.
Yep.
So we got
Bit
some
rough.
pretty good games going on. We got the semi-final. We're going to have a Thai team going up against a Chinese team. Have you seen many of these teams play?
I've seen CyberZen a while ago, but this is probably before any roster changes have happened recently. So
Yep.
it will be fresh faces for me today. Quite excited. I've heard from you that it's supposed to be a spicy game. Very potential grand final.
Yeah, definitely. I think this should be a great game. Potentially, it could be even better than the Vici Gaming. Whoever comes through this one. I mean, if it's a Chinese game, it can sort of get weird. So it's good to see different teams who are less familiar with each other sort of play each other a little bit. So we'll be covering the bottom semi-final. It's going to be CyberZen, Lucid Dream, and then the winner of that goes up against Vici for a spot at Odense. So pretty exciting stuff. I always love watching Lucid Dream play. CyberZen as well. You got Savage. He always can come through with some pretty entertaining highlights. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Alright, cool. Well, you know, I don't have too much to say about it as I haven't seen either of the teams play for such a long time. I know that the Asian CS meta is very different to what I'm used to seeing from the AU scene.
Yep.
Much more aggression, much less utility, sort of good aim battles, right?
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, there's only a couple of teams that sort of adopt that more sort of European style that I feel like a lot of the Australian teams will sort of model their game off. So that would maybe be like your Boot Dreamscapes, or maybe even you could say Tai Lu are sort of more leaning into that as the more and more they go overseas, they're having to adapt their play style. But yeah, definitely a more looser sort of style. But we're definitely seeing some interesting tactics out of some of the Asian teams. They definitely try to, you know, work on their game and bring some more strategies into their sort of map pool and stuff like that, and even the depth of their map pool as well. So I guess we're going to be seeing some more interesting strategies from both these teams, I would imagine.
Speaking of the map pool, what do you think we're going to see today coming out from both these teams?
So probably like your Mirages and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't matter what map they sort of play. They need to make their way through this semi-final and head into the grand final, and then they're going to be playing for a spot in Odense. So that should be pretty interesting. December 7th to 9th. I mean, that's in Denmark, so I don't imagine many people watching this broadcast in the sort of Asian, Australian area will be able to make their way, but I'm sure plenty of people will be watching and stuff like that. But if you're in Denmark, make sure that you head on down to there. And definitely high pressure games. I mean, when you got a big international event, probably the last one on the calendar, these teams are really going to be wanting a spot there to sort of test their mettle up against the top level competition.
Yeah, get a chance to play with the, you know, top 5, top 10 teams in the world.
Yep.
Very, very exciting stuff. And, you know, Kameen, you know, you called me in today. If you want to call me over for a little trip overseas, you know, I'm available, probably.
Yep, so
Hopefully.
let's take a little look at the schedule for today. It's going to be the semi-final between Lucid and CyberZen, like we said. Haven't got the vetoes together. We should see those in a few minutes here. But best of 3 series for a playoff spot in the grand final. Yeah.
What do you reckon, 2-1 or a 2-0?
I think it's always going to be a 2-1 between these two teams. Their map pools, it's going to be one of those situations where Lucid Dream is a team that likes to maybe throw in a bit of a curveball, go with like a train or an overpass or something like that, and try to catch their opponent off guard, maybe pick up a free map win, which is definitely something we're seeing more so in the Asia scene lately. We're seeing teams that are sort of trying to expand their map pool past those sort of like pug maps where everyone's just like, we'll just play Mirage, Inferno, and X, you know, and they're trying to really dive their way into like your nukes, your overpasses, and try to get a bit of a freebie to make a best of 3 series a bit more winnable as an underdog.
Okay, cool. So when they do go to those sort of more team-based, utility-based maps like Nuke and Overpass, do they still try to use some executes, or would you say they're just...
I think they just more so sort of just model it over off like the more European teams. Someone says Vodafone. There, Mac, did you hear that? I swear I heard that.
It must have come through under my cough there, yeah.
Yeah.
Vodafone, you know, I've been feeling pretty slow today, but I do need to play it faster.
Yeah, you definitely do. Yep. So, I mean, yeah, great mobile provider there. Sometimes I do find myself with a, you know, pretty terrible Australian internet connection, having to switch to that 4G data, and it's a pretty solid choice if you need to quickly move your way through an ESEA match when your connection drops out. I don't know if you've had the pleasure of experiencing playing on 4G.
I've tried in multiple places. I've been in the middle of nowhere, so if the internet drops out, I'm kind of screwed. But that wasn't with Vodafone, so
yeah, there you go.
Go with them.
Okay, so I mean, we're just waiting for to move further into the game. Maybe have a look at some of the vetoes and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, should be a pretty interesting game. I always like watching a bit of Lucid Dream. You know, Kevin always picked Lucid Dream as his sort of dark horse team to come through a lot of these Asian qualifiers. Obviously, CyberZen have a lot of those sort of old names that you've seen in the Chinese scene. I'll mix some new talents. You got Bottle and Viva, who Bottle is definitely a player that's been up and coming. There's definitely some sharp aim on him. Savage, a veteran of the scene. TB, HD used to be in Tyloo. Whereas your Lucid Dream is pretty much a mixed team of, like, I would say the 25 to 30 talented players in Thailand that you can make so many teams out of. They just keep coming in. It's like, who's this guy? I'd never heard of this guy. And then he just absolutely slaughters on the server, and it's just another guy to keep your eye out. So, I mean, I've seen 1 or 2 best of 3 series from Lucid Dream. Definitely some, like, if I was going to pick like a single player, it's not possible. All 5 of them are just like capable of just popping off. Like, you could see any of these 5 players with like 30 on the scoreboard.
Okay, cool. So is Niffy the AWPer by any chance?
They throw it around.
Okay.
Like, literally 4 of them AWP, man. Like, they just like, feel like AWPing today, so I'm gonna do that. But I'd say the people I've seen it with most would probably be like Niffy, Zendi, and a little bit Leaf as well. So yeah,
Okay.
I've even seen Wannafly pick it up as well. So, but whereas CyberZen, you're gonna have a tough time picking up an AWP against Savage. That's for sure. You definitely want to look for those AWP on AWP duels. You want to be trying to pick those riflers if you're gonna pick up that AWP on the CT side for Lucid Dream, because you don't want to be scoping into a Savage line. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, well, off the information I've just gained, you reckon we could see some triple or quad AWP setups coming out from Lucid Dream?
They've definitely run the double. They like running the double on the CT side, and that's actually a pretty big like thing of their game plan. Like, on the CT side of Train, they'll run the double AWP, and if you're not able to break the double AWP setup and you're not able to cut down their economy and start to reset them, they actually just roll you. And I've seen them roll some pretty good teams running that sort of a strategy. Like, you know, we're going to be heading into the videos. So maybe we will see some Train. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see some overpass and stuff like that. It's going to be Mirage and Nuke taken out. Lucid Dream, I saw them take out Nuke before. I'm surprised that CyberZen are taking out Mirage. Maybe it's a team that they played a lot in the Chinese region, and they've realized that a lot of these Asian teams are good at Mirage. And sometimes it's good to just cut out one of your opponent's top 3 maps and just go, look, let's get down into the more scrappier business. And if we're the better team, we should come out on top. Yeah, so
always go for that, like, RNG. We'll take them to a map we may not know, but they probably don't know it either, so we'll just try to out-aim them. You know,
yeah, I'm not really sure. It might be a little bit more of like a we don't want them to out-aim us on a Mirage, because it's more like Lucid Dream are a very like sort of aim-heavy team, and I imagine CyberZen, that's where they'll get their advantages in sort of the more tactical side of things. But I guess we will see. I'd expect an overpass to come out of Lucid Dream personally, but I guess we'll see what the picks are. We got Inferno and Dust 2. So Lucid Dream going to pick up a Dust 2. Haven't seen them play it yet. Haven't seen a lot of teams pick Dust 2 too much in the Asian region, apart from maybe 1 or 2. I can't remember exactly who it was, but it's definitely a map that's sort of more developing, and they're definitely adapting very quickly rather than sort of leaning towards those overpasses and nukes and stuff like that. Funny how that happens. Overpasses in the map pool the entire time. But Dust 2 comes in and everyone's like, prefer to play that personally.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people do come from the background of playing Dust 2. You know, when you first start playing the game, it's the one that pops the most in MM, so you just get into it.
Oh, we got actually Overpass as the last one. I'm surprised Lucid Dream actually take out Train there. They did a really good job on Train the last couple of times I've seen them play it. I've seen them play quite well on Overpass as well. CyberZen should be a pretty good one for them. So I'm not really sure which way this series could go. This could be a 2-0 for CyberZen if they're good at playing Dust 2, but otherwise, if it makes it to map 3, I'm kind of leaning towards Lucid Dream. I'm pretty confident in their ability to play Overpass over a CyberZen.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's cool. Well, I'm always pumped to see Overpass. It is actually my favourite map.
It's my favourite map too.
We don't get to see it in...
And we both have ginger facial hair. We're actually made to cast together. Why haven't this happened yet?
I don't know. Kev, mate, it's a sign that he's leaving us. Because I've just found my new best friend.
Oh my god. I'm so touched. Alright. We should be heading into the game pretty soon here. Probably just waiting on a few people to connect to the server and stuff like that. Can be quite troublesome.
I'm interested to see this because... in the AU scene, right, this is like what I'm going off. Usually you have the Cache, Mirage, Inferno picks. And that's it. And there's more pug pips pug picks
Yeah.
in those 3 maps.
And then you got a couple teams like, you know, Greyhound and stuff like that like playing the Nuke, and Chiefs like playing Train and stuff like that. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of versatility there, but I'm just surprised the first Asian game I've done in a long, long time has a much more interesting map pool than any AU games I've done in a while. So
Yeah, it
I'm
definitely gets a
pumped.
bit scrappy. These teams they definitely play some weird maps. There's going to be hard aggression coming out of Lucid Dream straight at the start of the game.
And here we are, Niffy taking the first pick there. Nice headshot onto TBBY. Now HZ here at the tunnel isn't going to be checked at all, so he could get the flank. And the CT's up, hints it in to the meat grinder. HZ flicking around there, eventually going to pick up the final frag at mid. Flipping around, good trade though. Now in the 1v1, Leaf has eyes on the bomb, has to go for the reload, which does allow HZ the opportunity to pick up the bomb, but with the CZ, he's feeling it. Hurricanes though, too damn sharp. Picking up the final frag and a huge hold there after hiding in the pit.
Yeah, definitely. That was some good aggression coming out of Lucid Dream. They were straight down the middle. It's going to be a pause. We're going to have to see. I'd imagine it's probably going to be a tech pause because Lucid Dream's internet connection cutting out is like a stock standard part of watching any of their games, because the internet in Thailand is sometimes just like, what, you can snap your fingers and it's gone.
Kind of like ours.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And also it gets very hot outside, kind of like ours, and all of a sudden your router can overheat. That used to happen to me. That was good times. You get up into the high 30s, like low 40s and stuff like that. My router just can't handle it.
Yeah, I haven't had a huge issue, but I know over there they have a much more humid climate than what we sort of really have to deal with over here in Australia. So that humidity could always fry the circuits a little bit faster than the dry heat that we are used to. Speaking of dry heat, it's not actually that hot today.
No, luckily it's cooled down. Yeah, the last couple of days it's been horrible. Would be nice to escape to a nice Italian villa right now, like Inferno. Just have a little chill.
Or Odense.
Yeah. Denmark. Yeah, that'd be a little bit cooler for sure.
Have a little holiday.
Yeah.
Go watch some quality Counter-Strike over there.
Always good. Yeah. Denmark, definitely some passionate fans. I mean, they just finished Blast in Copenhagen. They had the Prime Minister on stage doing a speech. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. That was an interesting
Pretty baller.
one.
That was a great speech.
Was that after the Blast series, that one?
It was before the grand final, I think, of Blast. Yeah, Copenhagen.
Cool. Good to see the politicians getting involved with the old esports. Sports, some would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
more tourism and whatnot.
We saw someone just pop back into the server.
Uh-oh. Does that mean we're good to go?
I
will never make that statement. That means very little to me. You can be in there for half a second and be out straight away as soon as you look away.
No jumping the guns here.
I mean...
Where are we right now? I've never...
This is the missile room to the right of T-Spawn.
Of course.
I used to say on the Pro League broadcast, I don't know why they didn't just fire that missile up mid, the terrorists. That's an easy pick on the CT
right.
Wolfer.
It doesn't make sense. Some things these days just, you know, it's like hidden in plain sight maybe. I don't know.
Well, it's going to be a full save. How are you liking this new meta of the full save on the second round from pretty much most teams on both sides, unless it's like an Inferno CT side or something, which is where you'd expect it to see, but even these guys aren't going to go for it. Yeah,
it definitely makes the games more even at some times, but I have seen the economy ruined for people going for too many forces.
Yep, for sure. I've seen quick 5-0 starts where people try to force and they just get crushed. Uh-oh.
Looking around the corner, gets one and a second. Good spray transfer, can't get the third. But a Hurricanes through the wall, actually picking up the second last frag, and Bottle shutting down KNGO. Why are the names different?
Just look at the bottom right, mate.
Okay.
Bottom right and bottom left. Don't even look at the scoreboard. They always just smurf and change the names and stuff like that.
Bloody trolls, mate.
Nothing you can do about it. It's going to be a M4 buy, lots of head armors, so those UMPs Galil's going to be a little bit less effective. Not much utility, though, for the CT side, so they're going to be really relying on some well-timed pushes, some good uses of smokes, maybe hold on to those, let the game get a little bit scrappier. Having some problems with the good old server here. I don't know if the players are actually feeling that. I would imagine they probably aren't. So it's going to head up the carpets for CyberZen. Going to take some map control. They haven't really touched Banana, and Lucid Dream's playing passively on B because they don't really have the utility to be able to contest Banana at this point. CyberZen's not really interested in that, and as a lot of teams do when they have UMPs and some pretty lackluster weaponry, I would say, is they go for a bit of a dig hit, maybe an apps bust. That's something that Liquid like to do, and Astralis also like to do on this map on their second or third round. Got a couple ups, just get them quick out the apartments, get some people flying out the balcony. More like an eagle.
We do see Hurricanes trying to get some damage through the wall there, but CT's not playing up on top of Diggity.
Actually, some information on Nana for Lucid Dream now, and they're rotating an extra player, cheating an extra player over to this A site. They've smoked off the bottom of Nana, so really well-timed push for Lucid Dream for how little utility that they had, and see if CyberZen are going to react to this or whether they're just going to push. They're actually really expecting the aggression coming out for Lucid Dream. There's no other reason why they would wait this long, I feel like.
So here we are. Will Viva check the corner? He has, but he flicks away at just the wrong moment, allowing Niffy to pick up the first frag of the round with only 20 seconds remaining. A little bit of stutter as the flash comes out from Carps there over pit. Leaf can't hold, forgets where his mouse 1 button is. Now Wanna Fly up on the box, looking good, finds 2. Can he get a third? The bomb is down right underneath him. And it was actually Wanna Fly that picked up the final 2 frags. I thought it was Niffy there.
Yeah, it was Niffy.
Oh, it was Niffy?
Yep.
Oh,
bit of delay, yeah.
Confusion.
Blame, yeah. But there it is. I mean, that was beautiful from CyberZen. They're trying to make the most out of those ump buys, but unfortunately that crossfire on the site with the third person coming in from Moto there and one person on the cold zero box is extremely hard to deal with that position. As the T's, unless you get a really clean entry coming out like dig and stuff like that, even if you do make it out apps and into the pit, you can still just get absolutely like wrecked by someone playing with a rifle on the site or a crossfire on the site with rifles.
Yeah, A-side Inferno, very easy to set up those crossfires too.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, even from the CyberZen team, I've seen too many times where they just fight bracket non-stop and they just never give it up, and there's just very little reason for it. They still don't learn their lessons after so many times I've seen them do it. We'll see if they are going to change it up a little bit on their CT side or whether they are just going to continue fighting for bracket. But so far, Lucid Dream looking a little bit more on the passive side. Wanna Fly just playing a little bit of an off angle here. Imagine if he does get flash, he's just going to fall back, and it's going to be a similar strat once again.
Although Viva entering with the Mac 10, can he connect the shots? Not just yet. Wanna Fly not going to be checked there near Hay Bales, and he will fall back to Mini Pit. It's going to be effective. He finds one more there. The TB, although traded out Savage coming in from the balcony and in the 2v2. Lucid Dream do have a HP advantage, but a bad smoke will allow Zendi to find a frag on the early retake. 40 seconds remaining. The bomb doesn't have to be planted just yet, but Niffy gets the info and finds the angle through the smoke, taking Savage down, and Lucid find their second, tying it up at 2 rounds apiece.
We lost the terrorist here. Is that a bit of a scoreboard glitch? We've lost another terrorist. Goodbye, my friend. You will be missed. Another tech and the internet really not working out for some of these Chinese players, unfortunately. Pretty good holds once again for the CT side of Lucid Dream. It's what I'm used to seeing from them. They're really good on these spray downs. They're really good on their double AWP holds on the CT side. If they have just players in good positions, just solid fundamental crossfires, it's extremely hard to break for any team on their T side. Unfortunately, where they fall a bit flat sometimes is the overall strategy and cohesion of their T side. We'll see if that's going to be a bit of a problem for them because we are on CyberZen's map pick at this moment, and I feel like 2-2 scoreline. I mean, they're going to have to take an eco. Hopefully they can continue to chip away at Lucid Dream's economy, not let them get on a little bit of a roll, head up to like 4 to 8k amount of money, and then have to sort of grind back those T rounds the hard way against consecutive gun rounds.
Well, there was only one CT or 2 CTs remaining at the end of that round.
Yep.
So if we did see a force come out, the economy could be pretty wrecked for the CTs. See, this is that game in the new meta where it's like, hey, I can force up. We know that their economy is going to be screwed if we continue to take the guns out of their hands. And I see that a lot in AUCS.
Yeah.
I don't know so much about Asian, like,
the best way to throw the game.
Yep, throw the game.
But yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay.
You need to have, like, it's just because of the way they conduct the force buys. It's like not even, they're just like, oh, we're going to force buy and we're going to do like a really loose kind of like strategy. Like if you're going to force, like do something like Big do, like do like, you know, if they're on Dust 2 or something, they'll throw like a full short exec at you with perfect flashes and you have like three Ts with CZs in your face before you can even do anything. Like, but then when I see a lot of these teams force, they're just like, I have a Deagle. Let's see if I can land a 1 Deagle. Oh, I can't. Oh, my money's ruined. Now they're up 7-2 and I'm crying.
Yeah, no teamwork.
Yep.
Just, oh, I'll work banana. You go work apps. Oh, wait, we weren't in positions to trade. Damn it.
Damn it.
Maybe next
the
time.
counter-terrorists have rifles that can shoot long range, and I can't shoot a headshot very good.
Damn. Although, you know, I've heard that these guys are all very sharp.
Yeah.
So you'd think that they could shoot a deagle pretty well.
As for the CyberZen sort of players, I think they're the lesser end of the sharper sort of players, like TB, Viva, even HD. Not the most high individual skills. Savage, he's a bit up and down nowadays. He used to be like a pillar of consistency on that second string Chinese team.
Okay.
But nowadays he's sort of dropped off a little bit, but he does still have really good performances most of the time. But Bottle's the one who, he has some just incredible aim. He can absolutely deliver in huge games, put up your like 120, 130 ADR, but he has some pretty questionable decision making. Like I've seen on this map in particular, like one CT in pit, one CT on the nifty box and executes coming in. Where do you think Bottle would be as a dig player? He's up dig fighting. He's like under porch still, has never fallen back. And he just gets absolutely wrecked, one beat instantly. And then they have two people on the side, two people banana, and they just get like crunched through jungle or something. It's like, if you were just on the cold box or like graveyard or like the 15 other positions that are overpowered instead of just like, I'm going to play under porch.
Yeah. You know, that's when the communications come through later, where it's like, you know, man, I was actually feeling it right now. I thought I was. I'm sorry, you know. And you got that guy in the team, and then the motivation comes down. It's a little bit rough, but you know.
All right, so should be wrapping things up pretty soon. In terms of this pause, definitely some internet connection issues for some of our players, but should get back into the game and then back into the server. I always hate these long pauses, not because I don't like waiting, but because it kind of changes up the tempo and the momentum of the game. Like, especially, I mean, it's only early days, so it's probably not going to make that much of a difference, but it can definitely give you a couple extra minutes to think about what you're going to do and why you're going to do it. And sometimes when you don't have enough time to make it down to like the 7th branch of the decision tree or whatever, and you're only on the 3rd, you can make a different decision than you would have later on. Someone's got a deagle, so you might be right about this force buy thing, but maybe you just add a little bit of extra cash as opposed to the rest of his teammates. You're like you said a while ago, it was a while ago now, 2 CT surviving the last round is going to mean that every kill really counts for the T side moving forward, because you really want to be chipping down that CT economy. You don't want these Lucid Dream guys, although they have been looking pretty sharp on these rifles so far. You don't want them getting on the AWPs either, because they can be just as dangerous and they can shut down your whole day before you even get anything rolling. And that isn't really even what they've been doing so far. They've kind of just been like, hey CyberZen, you guys do whatever you want and we're going to just completely wreck you. It's like 2 on B site playing passive, 3 on A site playing passive. Oh, you came into my bomb site and I 3K'd you.
Good strat,
that's
though.
pretty much,
That's what that's essentially what Wannafly did just before, hiding at Haystack. Like the one position they didn't decide to check, completely destroyed them from it.
And it's crazy, like a couple months ago, maybe a year ago on Inferno, you would have been like, that's a terrible position. But it's funny how positions get much better as time goes on.
And entry routes change. Here we are. Looks like that force has come out from CyberZen. Leaf, though, isolating TB on his own there towards Cubby. We'll spray him down and we'll reaggress, but Bottle taking more damage there. HZ tagged down to 50 HP as well. And in a 4v5, Leaf once again looking to reaggress, feeling it at the moment. He's just holding the crossfire, posting on the angle.
Yeah, this has been CyberZen's sort of mid-round thing that they've been doing this whole game, really. It's just sit and wait for them to make a mistake. And Lucid Dream previously is a team that I would have said definitely they're going to go push that, but so far in this game, looking very disciplined.
Once again, I just did see Bottle run in almost solo. There was a trade,
I mean, are we even going to mention the fact that TB was like 10 steps ahead of the rest of his team and has now just lost them the rest of this round pretty much? I mean, he was trying to hit a timing and pick the jungle player to create pressure, but it doesn't work out. You look very foolish.
And it's going to be too effective. Spraying down Viva, spotting him out. And shutting down the wrap. Now the last 2 remaining T players, Apps and Diggity. Looks like Savage was almost about to go down. He will be last alive. But one a flag. Fast 2K, finishing off both Hurricanes and Savage.
5 alive. Scary stuff.
There you go. So here comes the economy train. Lucid not dropping anything, although they will save 2 MP9s, but knowing that CyberZen forced into the previous round, they don't have to go for the upgrade. Or they've gone for the upgrade.
I would have agreed with you, really. I mean, that just goes to show, like, some of these players, they've got some incredible aim, but yeah.
Economical management isn't part of the meta.
I'm not a numbers man myself, but I could have told you that. Anyway, no head armor. A lot of these T players going to be going for another little something or other towards second mid and apartments, which so far is Lucid Dreams shut down 3 rounds in a row. So I want to see something a little different coming out. This Nana control has been great from Lucid Dream.
They haven't really shown a lot of presence. They've just been shutting it down with utility and then rotating that extra player over towards A site, essentially.
Yep, which is what we see pretty much stock standard in a lot of the European meta. That's a nice shot from Viva.
Although now with the one-man gamble, we do see the B site open. The fast rotate.
He's still got a smoke and a molly. They're all good. They're fine.
Reckon. Oh, he's chosen the HE though. No one with their guns out. So that nade actually finishing off Viva there. Smoke coming out, slowing down the push. He's deciding not to go through it.
Look how beautiful this is from Lucid Dream. The rotations. I mean, those A players are a little bit over eager, but overall, I mean, they had a player ready to flash that extra guy through the smoke. They had a guy rotating with a smoke and a molly. They've got all their bases covered.
It's good to see, and it has slowed down CyberZen's push, although it looks like they will gravitate back towards Banana. Run into this crossfire.
Zendy's still got a molly.
And no smoke at CT either.
20 seconds to go. This is going to be a pop flash from the rotator player. It's going to need to be a very quick headshot from one of these CyberZen players.
Here we go, Zendy just hiding that new box. Good position to stop the bomb plant here. Bottle actually finding an opening frag. Zendy doesn't buy enough time, so the bomb will be planted successfully, and HZ goes down just like that. CyberZen bring it back. I didn't even...
Yeah, it's just headshots, mate.
Crazy. Okay, so on the essential pistol buy,
yep,
CyberZen have taken it and kept it 3 apiece. So that surprised me. It looked like Lucid Dream had the setup to win that round.
They just missed a couple of their shots, and that rotator at Coffins, he's a little bit overextended. He doesn't need to play that far out.
Yep. He could have just stayed at CT as well.
It's crazy the difference that a couple of steps makes positioning wise. All right, straight into another gun round we will go.
I'm just interested to see that teleporting chicken.
Yeah, I mean, you knew chickens were wizards.
They've got they are ghosts now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not actually chickens. They're just little baby ghosts.
Chickens. Gotcha.
Beautiful sheet costumes. Although, bit of aggression going to be shown towards apartments from CyberZen early on. Potentially just trying to bait a rotate, but Lucid Dream not going to over-rotate there.
There's a deep arch smoke for the T's. They're going to try to get some brackets control, and they have some semblance of Nana control. So if there ever was a go-to strategy you'd want to see from CyberZen, this is the round you pull it out in. You need to go for that Nana control. You need to get that brackets control. You need to start to chip away at some of this CT utility to make it much harder for them to A, get information, and B, hold this push overall in the late round. It's going to be heading back into a B execute. This is another smoke expended by Lucid Dream, and I think they're all out at that B site. Zendy is leaning very heavily towards A. He's going to need to come back quick smart, as they have no info at A, and it's looking like a pretty well set up execute here. Bottle and Viva have double mollies. Flash comes in, smokes as well.
Ooh, Niffy's going to be standing in that Molotov down to less than half HP, but great flash allows him to pick up at least 1 frag, almost a second. HZ though, too sharp. In the trade and now on the 4v4, the bomb should go down successfully. 20 seconds remaining, and only 3 flashes and a smoke to try to go for the retake here for Lucid.
Yeah, and all these players on CyberZen are very low, so it's very doable for them. Wonderfly's got himself a kit. They can smoke off Nana, and they can throw some flashes in, but no utility thrown.
That was a huge play coming out from HZ, but Zendy in the 1v2 looking to shut it down. Viva goes down, and Savage with only 12 HP, just surviving, finishing that one off. I don't know if you saw that, but HZ with 6 HP decided to crab walk the angle to CT. Managed to pick up 1 frag, almost a second, and that pretty much won them the round.
Yeah, it's pretty brave stuff. I mean, maybe he's feeling like, obviously, all quite low. Someone's got to make a bit of a play. Lucid Dream's coming in for the retake, but they're that round got very scrappy. There was some very good trades from CyberZen. It was an impressive one from them, but you really got to point to the fact that they threw that full execute, they got full map control, and that round still came down so close. That still could have been a round for Lucid Dream, despite all the trades on the T side. But CyberZen, textbook. They took bracket, they took some Nana control, and then they just went straight into an execute, and they break the money of the CTs, which is, as far as, you know, you go into chapter 7 of the, you know, Counter-Strike textbook or whatever, that is probably in there, I would imagine.
Well, the T's economy is actually pretty low at the moment too. They
Yep.
bought up pretty close to 0 on
Yep.
everyone there, and they only saved 1 rifle at the end of the round. So it's still close.
Sure.
And
But I'll tell you what, on the T side, you don't need a good gun or some grenades. All you need is some nice headshots.
that's it, as we saw in the previous round with the pistol buy.
Yeah, they had a bit of utility there. I
Crazy.
don't know. They got it done. Alright, who are you feeling today? Both these teams looking pretty on form. They both have some pretty good aim on them. This is CyberZen's map pick, and they're leading on the T sides, and they've just broken the money of Lucid Dream, which indicates that they're probably going to be off to a solid run of a couple of rounds here.
Yeah, looking at how structured Lucid have been on their CT side, it's just a couple of those mistakes that have allowed CyberZen to pick up these rounds though. And I guess CyberZen with the... it looks like they've got the better aim, so the T side should favour them at the moment. But seeing the structure from Lucid going into their T side, even though it's not their map pick, I feel like they should be pretty alright. I'm thinking it might go down to like a 16-13 scoreline here on the first, which could be hours away at the rate of the internet dropping out every 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it is dropping out every 2 rounds, but they're only short pauses. I mean, this one should be wrapped up any second here, so we should be heading straight back into the game. A couple of USPs on the Lucid Dream players indicates that maybe it's not time for a force buy, although they've been given plenty of time to think about whether that would be a good idea or not. I don't know, I'm never a fan of just forcing because you can break your opponent.
Yeah.
It's always very risky.
Are you one of the guys that says, hey, we all have USPs, let's sit in the Molotov to deny them money?
I'm all one of the guys. It's like, hey, we all have USBs. Let's just do some crazy stack setup where we have 3 people on each other's heads.
Oh, don't leak your strats there, mate.
Hey,
Everyone's watching.
I'm not actively competing anymore, so we good.
Oh, that ESL announcement for Brizzy can just be like shut down now. Right? You know the little tagline?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's a bit of a double-pronged joke, I would say, because I'm not actually allowed to qualify. But anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. So.
Well, yeah, nobody does. That's the point. Got a bit of a spread out on the T side, and they will be making their way up Nana, which should give them a fair bit of information. Here's the stack on the USPs. 1 flashbang. Oh, I'm so proud of you boys. That's what I like to see.
For buying the flash?
Yeah, buying the flash and just stacking top bracket, especially with how much CyberZen's been probing that this game. Fair decent gamble.
Here we go, the push looking to come down mid. HZ taking first contact, finding one, and then the second with a spray down. Bottle actually taking the first frag onto Leaf. And now last alive, I wanna fly, sorry. The number 1 giving me a bit of an incorrect name.
Is it I wanna fly, or is it like wanna fly question mark? Is he asking a question or saying that that's his wish? Like, we'll never know.
Right, that's too many scenarios for me to comprehend right now with this sickness. My brain is only functioning in one form, and that is Counter-Strike. English is my first language, but not my strong point.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's the function that it needs to be in for at least the next couple of hours. So I'm glad that you tuned in.
Hopefully, I left my my Codrel at home.
Oh, that's so good.
Hopefully, I don't slowly decline throughout the day. I'm feeling fine though. I thought my voice would be a lot more croaky than what it currently has been. But
it's a pretty good Nana control coming out. Got a lot of HE nades and some Molotovs, and they've taken it pretty much for free with one guy probing the apps. So CyberZen in these late middle of the half gun rounds, looking better and better all the time.
Yep, Nifty once again lighting up this pop flash. Waiting for some aggression, but that smoke denying the push for CyberZen. Lucid just deciding not to contest. We saw that they actually had quite light utility going into this round. They are going to try to save it for later in the round. CyberZen have been committing quite late to these executes, not really going for any rushes, not for a while anyway.
Yeah, they try to wait for Lucid Dream to make some mistakes, but the CT side's definitely been very passive from Lucid Dream. So
Yep.
we're going to have to see some good late round utility usage. Couple smokes left, couple flashes, a Molotov on Zendy. So we're going to have to use those very well. But the pressure in jungle always shakes things up a bit. This is always very difficult to deal with if you're on the CT side. It's going to play with your mind and play with your rotations a lot.
Especially Leaf being solo, although HZ pushing almost into his crosshair. The lineup comes out, but Leaf goes down. And Bottle getting that entry. Nice headshot. Saving his teammate. But Zendy expecting the wrap. Cities will try to rotate here, but HZ now opening up that A site. So last two remaining players for Lucid will be on the B. And Zendy finds two, but the bomb is looking to commit, even though the A site is completely open. CyberZen, they only had 10 seconds to get the bomb planted. So HZ now in a 1v1. Zendy now with 31 HP, although HZ just can't plant the bomb. Not close enough. Zendy's going to face, almost runs away just in the nick of time, making his way back to Con. And Lucid win the round.
Yeah, a bit of a mess there overall. I'd say the overall strategy was very good from CyberZen, but I mean, sometimes that just happens. You just run out of time. You definitely would have thought that if they just waited an extra 5 seconds to crunch on that B bomb site with all of their players, that they wouldn't have been giving those CTs so many 1v1s, and that's what you don't want to be doing to a lot of these Lucid Dream players. They've got the aim and the firepower to be if you're going to just continually give a lot of those guys 1v1s, they're going to be thriving on that.
Yeah, it was crazy that they didn't just make the call straight away to go back to the A site. They did have the time when the 2K came in. Beautiful shot to open up the round, though, by Savage. Leaf feeling the full force of that one. HZ getting another one as the smoke does bloom. Now, last alive, Wannafly looking to hold, but he will be traded out by TB. And now in the 4v2, CyberZen have the A site. Should be able to get the bomb planted, and Lucid, the economy not looking too crash hot. They will just try to save over on the B site.
Yeah, moment of silence for Lucid's economy for what feels like the second or the third time in this half alone. Every time that they get something rolling, CyberZen instantly puts them back down. But equally, like you keep mentioning, CyberZen's money is not doing too fantastic either. So, could definitely keep things close here. But I would imagine that you're going to see a lot of sad counter-terrorists with not very much money thinking about whether they should force. And I would probably say, for once, they should.
They should?
Yep.
Alright, cool. But that was a beautiful entry by Savage, just ballsing it up mid, getting that lovely shot.
He's really recognising and changing up the pace, so Lucid's playing very passively, so this play might seem a little brash perhaps, but against what he's seen so far from Lucid, he knows that's going to work for him.
Right in the bicep. Beautiful shot.
No more lifting for you, mate.
Shooting that gun one-armed. Alright, so CyberZen still with the 2-round lead, looking to make it to 3.
I don't understand why they're saving here, like they're double eco. Leaf's got 1500. He's going to have like 3-ish K anyway in the next round.
He has been buying that MP9. He was the one that saved the MP9 earlier on.
Yeah.
What position is he usually playing? Oh, Frisia. Niffy, sorry, goes down there. Good trade, Zendy. On the end of that one, but that is one of the guns saved out of Lucid's hands, and it is in quite an unretrievable position. Although it looks like Hurricanes will be trying to get the trade. Here's Zendy peeking straight into the crosshair, but crosshair placement slightly off. Now the information will be gained by Lucid, but the 3 players over towards the B site still holding the stack. And CyberZen aren't aware that they have gone for the save, as they haven't seen any US people that's been shot. Now Bottle, just hiding here at bracket, waiting for his teammates. Viva looking to feel out the B site there too, although potentially just changing his mind. He's got a flash to play with. I think CyberZen are just worried about walking into a stack here.
It's always safer to go jungle side than dig side up against the pistols anyway. You give yourself some longer distances. You can always give yourself the extra option of crunching B, which they're going to do anyway. But with the time running low, this could work out very, very badly for CyberZen. They're not going to have time to check all these corners.
See if that bomb plant gets denied. Leaf just hiding in the corner, not going to be spotted. Just Cause and Wannafly both go down. And Leaf can't get any damage done, so that M4 is going to be saved by Zendy. Bomb goes down for CyberZen. And they will take it to a 7-4 lead.
Beautiful stuff. Oh my god. They they left that extra person behind to sort of clean up any counter-terrorists coming out con. I feel like, I don't know, did Lucid Dream, they just really didn't expect that, did they? They
No.
kind of got caught with their pants down a little bit. Zendy's trying to hold on to this AK, but no one's going to be able to buy next anyway. And the problem is 4 alive for CyberZen last round, 4 alive in this round. This is going to start to get very, very ugly for Lucid Dream. They're going to have to win these rounds very cleanly.
Good shot there, though, by Zendy. There's another rifle out of the hands of CyberZen, and the economy starting to build, but...
They're going to buy. Wow.
Yeah, TB and
Oh, no,
HZ.
they're not. They're good. I thought he went so quickly for the rifle, the armor there, and he had 3100 left, and I was like, there it is.
There's the
going
force.
straight for it. Nah,
Yep.
It's a half buy. That's decent with the AK as well. They've got a lot of smokes, which could definitely force CyberZen into some kind of late round stack. Something I always like to see, just dropping smokes and smokes and smokes for days and rotating players off. Buying more and more time, trying to make CyberZen make a bit of a mistake.
Oh, we're actually going to see
rip that chicken.
AK's gone over to Banana this round.
Yeah.
So changing up the positions.
But more importantly, did you see that chicken just get roasted by the Molotov?
I did. I had oh, I didn't have
sad.
chicken last night. What did I have for dinner? I don't know. It's quite irrelevant, but I do like roast chicken. Let's just put that there. So
I'll keep that in mind.
see, well, we're best friends now. We got to go out on a nice
Yeah.
date at some point. Here we are. Zendy looking to hold strong, whiffs some bullets, and he will go down to Viva.
Not the best use of the AK.
No, unfortunately, the crab walk didn't work wonders in this scenario, but it looks like Lucid are quite keen to get the AK back in their hands. The wrap coming out all the way through CT spawn, and it looks like it will be a B split yet again, but Leaf, last alive, hiding behind the wall for a moment, goes wide and will give up his life, and the B site is now open, although bomb isolated, but not for long. Savage with the P250, getting the headshot there on to Just Cause, and expecting the push down mid as well. Two-man crossfire, almost going to be beaten by that 5-7. Lots of damage done, but Bottle comes out on top. Huh?
Very balanced weapon.
Very balanced weapon. What, do you think it's broken at the moment?
I think all the pistols are broken
Yeah.
for the most part.
Okay, I'll give that to you.
The
I do
Deagle's the
agree.
worst.
It is silly.
It's not even the headshot, it's like the double body shot at close range is the thing that really irks me.
Yeah.
I don't even aim for the head with the Deagle anymore. I'm not skilled enough to.
Is 7 bullets too many in the clip?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's fine.
That's fine. The damage you would just
The
like
damage,
to see
yeah.
reduced on the
It should
body.
be 3 hits at all ranges.
You're still
up to
happy
the
for
body.
a 1 dig?
Yeah, 1D's fine.
Okay.
That takes skill. But it's just that when you can 2-bullet people at close range, it's just silly.
I do agree. It has tilted me many a time.
Because it doesn't take much skill to just like press mount armors or something with a Deagle.
Yeah.
Like you can kill like 2 to 3 people with 1 clip of the Deagle and you don't even have to aim that much. Alright. Once again, not all the bells and whistles in terms of the utility and kits and all that, but a pretty good buy for Lucid. Something that they can definitely make work. However, that's not really going to make much of a difference heading further into this half because CyberZen's money builds up for the rest of the half. They're set for life. Lucid is going to be the ones on the back foot in terms of the economy.
Ooh.
They need to be very careful.
Wannafly just dodging those bullets. HZ, oh, gets the wallbang eventually. Down to 40 HP, Wannafly falling back, just surviving.
He's got all the lineups. And he's like playing very well. Alright, pat on the back, mate.
HZ, he's been in the offline servers. Practicing those ones, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just don't put up 16 for 7.
And that's why we're on the seats here, right?
Sure.
Not in the server.
Yeah.
Rotations come out from Zendy.
Yeah.
Lucid, they have the stack, and CyberZen, oh, bit of miscommunication. Hit the KZs, boys.
Here it comes.
The TB getting ready to throw this flashlight. 20 seconds remaining, and with the 4 men, the CT's on the site. Just Cause peeking aggressively, finding Bottle with some utility in hand. Looking for more, almost gets a line up at TB, and Viva bringing it back. Zendy with the spray down, getting 2, but Savage on the P250. Bringing it down to the 2v2. Nice nade, not actually going to find any damage there onto Viva. A little bit too close towards default, and the bomb goes down successfully. Niffy rotating in quite late. with the Molotov. Leaf will just hold, waiting for CyberZen to be flushed off of sight, but it looks like they will let the bomb tick down just for a moment. Savage in pit, great position to hold for the round. Almost the collat there. Niffy gets a trade, but Savage too sharp with the AWP. 3 frags for the round, and CyberZen find that 9th round. 5 in the lead over Lucid Dream.
Yeah, I think Niffy kind of unknowingly just lost them that round by just running in front of the AWP scope there. He was definitely ready for Savage to peek that, but unfortunately the timing doesn't work out. Some of these Lucid Dream players are clearly under a little bit of pressure here and not playing up to their usual standards. The scoreboard isn't really what tells me that. It's more so the fact that they're really not going for these aggressive fights and they're playing very passively on the CT side non-stop, when usually the trademark of their CT side is aggression and stopping you guys from running your game plan. They like to get up in people's face and make things happen, and unfortunately, it's only the players that are able to hold their nerve under these executes coming in from CyberZen that are be able to do well.
Oh, timing. HZ spotting one running away, expecting Modify to be on the ledge. Can't do too much damage, and the CTs will be able to retreat without falling down. Bracket control once again going to be taken by CyberZen. Lucid not contesting. Although re-aggression coming in towards mid. Just Cause trying to find a headshot, couldn't connect. HC expecting the angle, he almost connects a bullet, but just can't get the aim. Too slow on the trigger. TV now working Carps, mollying out Graveyard. Unfortunately, you won't find too much information other than that. There is no one sitting on the stairs, and with the flash looking to potentially fake, the rest of CyberZen still holding that bracket control, not working for the info.
As is customary for them. Just waiting for the pushes. Now they're going to finally see their way in. Oh, what a sharp shot.
There you go, and that will potentially be a rifle for no. Lucid shut down. Just Cause couldn't pick up the rifle in time. Now Leaf getting away with that peek. Good info though. The reload for Bottle coming in right next to the smoke, trying to bait the push, which he does so successfully. Wanna Fly, Leaf and Zendi all taken down. Bottle feeling it at the moment. 3K for him. Could find a 4th. Niffy coming in from mid, but the 2-man peak too strong for Niffy. And CyberZen get to the double digits first, 10-4.
Definitely feels like CyberZen's playing up to their usual standard and running all their normal strategies, and it feels like Lucid aren't doing what they would usually do in an average game for them, like going for all these aggressive plays and stuff like that. Definitely Zendi still playing quite well. Wanna Fly and Niffy with some good 2 to 3Ks on the defense, but with how their economy's been broken time and time again, we have to really point out the fact that they definitely have sort of thrown away the potential to be able to string rounds together in this game by losing to pistols and stuff like that. It is the reason why they're in this position now, and they could potentially get 11 forward instead of like something more like a 9-6 or a 8-7 half. Haven't managed their economy well enough, and these executes from CyberZen have been extremely successful, bar Wanna Fly 3K'ing them from side or something like that earlier in the game, but once CyberZen was able to adjust to that, there really wasn't much.
Oh! It was a pixel.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. I think it's something to do with the netcode, because that should never hit. Like, it wasn't even on him.
That was
Let's be real.
very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, losing that pick means that you're 2 for 2 on each site, and you can just leave an extra T probing the other side of the map while you get map control. Good old 4-1. Make sure you got all your bases covered and you've still got plenty of info before you hit the bomb site.
It does allow the Ts to go and try to trade it out over towards the A site, 2-2. Although we are going to see a 3-1. 3 wrapping, 1 just holding Carps, making sure no one can be sneaky.
That's beautiful from
Stay
Beaver. That's the whole point of the 4-1. You want to punish those CTs pushing in a disadvantageous situation.
Keeping second guessing, going wide at Moto, although Just Cause finding the trade onto HZ. Leaf now left last alive though. Good shot from Bottle. Right on the noggin of Just Cause. The bomb goes down and then the 1v3 being the last round of the half. Leaf flicks around, finds one unscathed as well. So with 100 HP, he is going to be walking straight into a crossfire though. Savage too sharp with the AWP today. And CyberZen find 11 on the T side of Inferno. Their map pick, so looking good to potentially just take this one out.
Yeah, that's going to make it pretty rough for Lucid Dream. They already look like they're under a fair bit of pressure just in this first map here. So moving into the next map, I mean, it will be their peak, which will be Dust 2. They're definitely going to need this pistol and start to string together a couple of T rounds, but I don't have high hopes because the thing about this team, Lucid Dream, is that they don't have the best of cohesion on the T side. I've seen them fall flat time and time again on a lot of maps. Their only T side that is really good is usually on their map pick, so I'd expect them to have a good T side on Dust 2. I've seen them pick an overpass and have a really good structured T side with some interesting strats on it before, but when you sort of move your way down the map pool, they can definitely lack some cohesion there. Two sets of utility on their T pistol, and they're going to be heading very quickly towards apps here. Viva, oh no, it's Bottle spotting that, and he has seen a lot of players in second mid. He's gotten a lot of info. Uh-oh, he's actually staying aggressive apps. That is never correct, I don't think.
Oh, he gets punished for trying to hold that position. HZ, though, has to go for the reload. Leaf and Niffy just completely breaking open that A site. Now the bomb should go down successfully. Viva trying to get aggressive. Falls as well now. Savage in a 1v5.
I feel like CyberZen just kind of gave that away. Like,
Yep.
if you spot three Glocky boys barreling their way up second mid into apartments, you don't go,
boys.
yeah, you don't go like, hey, how about I just chill here and see what happens?
Yeah, I'll just disregard the fact that they could run up from second mid. I'll just wait for them to jump back.
Like,
No,
it's
mate.
basically like saying, so my play here is not to fall back and wait for my team, not to try to put myself in a position where I can at least take a shot and fall back and try to take some 1v1s. It's like, I need to hit every shot here in quick succession or I die.
That's it. You know, and HZ, I don't know where his other bullets went. It looked like he only shot 2 before having to reload on the balcony. Everyone just got so destroyed.
They're in some very awkward positions. They're going to force. I've seen this a fair bit on the T side, on the CT side of Inferno. Even though the economy, I mean, nowadays means that you can get a buy into the next. A lot of people feel like I have just as good of an opportunity to win with pistols and a fair bit of utility as I do with rifles and a fair bit of utility. Like, if I'm going to play the same sort of game plan, I may as well just run more like close angles, maybe a bit more of a gimmicky stack and try to make that work. It hasn't really worked for them so far. These nades are going to do a lot of damage though.
Yeah, Viva extremely aggressive down Banana, going solo, isolated by the Molotov, but TV holding strong with 5-7, flicking around, can't actually find a shot. Oh, Bottle though, different situation. Beautiful headshot onto Niffy, wanna fly.
This is something I've seen from Lucid Dream a lot of times. Like, you're seeing all these fights happen and then you look up the radar and they've made this like call like, oh, we're gonna run to this side of the map instead. Like, they do a lot of the old like, not just like one person working an area of the map and then people rotate. It's a lot of like 3 people run brackets. Oh, I see a CT, now we're gonna run back to Banana. Oh, I saw 2 CTs, now I'm gonna run back to A. Instead of like, you're more classic sort of like, oh, spread out and like put the old feelers out. See if we can hear anything or see anything, and then we'll make a decision from there. It's a lot more of a proactive information gathering, that's for sure.
Quick shout out to Leaf, you know, hitting the foon down Carps there.
Oof,
no actual strafing going on, just straight up, straight hops, beautiful.
What's the point? It's inconsistent anyway. Why
Literally
employ a technique that's probably not going to work anyway?
Yeah, it's a 50-50 chance of actually hitting B-hops, right?
I don't know. I actually don't know how that works. Movement's never been my strong suit.
Oh, that's where I need Kev.
Yeah.
Kev the KZ Tyrant. Although Lucid, you know, showing some decent form here to get to 6.
Yep.
And now CyberZen, they only saved that Mac 10.
Savage is buying again? They're all buying again. Okay.
Feeling it. So, as you said, this could be the path to throw.
Yeah, this is definitely the path to throw. This is how you cook yourself.
Rough to see. Let's see if Savage can find anything here at Banana. Looks like CTs will fall back and rotate over towards A.
They have got the lead, so it's a bit more of a slow cook as opposed to just, you know, turn it on full gas. But, you know.
Slow cook can still lead to a burn, though.
For sure.
If you don't check.
It's even worse as well, because you had so many chances to turn the heat down. Feel worse about yourself. Smoke is going to have to go down for TB once he sees a terrace. He's holding his nerve here. Ouch.
Oh,
that's what you get. Should just drop the smoke, mate.
That's it.
Alright.
Good nade stack, though. Zendi throwing. It's a CT. It's a CT smoke, right?
I guess so. It doesn't really look like one.
I thought that was a. No, because the con smoke goes further to the left there, so that will be a CT smoke. Another con smoke coming in from Logs, and one smoke stopping them completely in their tracks, although going through the smoke with a flash. Let's see if it's going to be effective. Savage holding strong with the CZ. 3K, huge push through the smoke, picking up the AK, 4 for him. And now Wannafly, last alive, looking to hold that flank, is actually going to bait his whole team. And now in the 4v1, CyberZen looking too damn good off a massive play there from Savage.
Yep, and I mean, he really makes that one work, but it's the theory in general is like what CyberZen keeps employing. It's why they keep force buying pistols and armor and smokes, and just that's why TB, you saw him hold that smoke for an extra couple of seconds rather than just throwing it out there. The whole thing is that you want to force the T's into a bad decision. You either want to force them into, hey, we're going to run through a smoke into bar, or you want to force them into, oh god, we have to rotate all the way back to A with 20 seconds to go, and we have to check every corner. And you better bet that there's one CZE boy in Boiler at that point shooting 2 of you in the back. One guy hiding in apps or something, there's a guy in pit, like mini pit or something, a guy hiding behind Nifty Box. Like, there's a million ways things could go wrong.
Well, yeah, so the slow cook has turned into a well-done steak.
They took it out just in time. They knew exactly what they were doing.
That was
MasterChef.
I've never seen anyone make that work so well. CZ, at best of times, you can get 2 kills with the 12 bullets, but getting 3, then being allowed to pick up an AK, get it at the ready, and then find a 4th man just coming through late at the smoke.
Savage is just a special player. I don't know how long I've been like, why isn't he just not on CyberZen and instead on like Tyloo? But I don't know.
Well, you said earlier he was looking kind of burnt. He had a slow start.
Yeah, he's a bit inconsistent is the thing. Like, compared to what he used to be. He used to just time and time again put up the numbers.
MC, what are you doing?
That's a classic for MC.
I don't have the energy to laugh right now. What a face, though.
That's like the 90-degree neck turn in all the horror movies.
Yeah, it's a chicken, not an owl, you know. It
is that a bowling ball? Do I put my fingers in there, like, pick up that chicken and just bowl it down banana? Is that how that works?
We should try chicken bowling. Can someone set up a server for that? Community server, chicken bowling?
Oh, good. I thought you were talking about it in real life.
No. No animal cruelty here.
Yeah. It's a PG stream. It's going to be another buy from both teams. This could actually be an important one. Everyone's money's kind of cooked, so... But even so, after that questionable decision from Lucid Dream, I mean, they still have a better buy than CyberZen. Which is just a classic peak side economy thing. I can buy all the things for less money and they're better.
Well, that's how the game's set up, right?
Yep.
Favouring the Ts on the weaponry, but favouring the CTs on generally being able to set up crossfires.
Yep.
And not have to run around corners.
A slow one from Lucid Dream. Unfortunately, something that does often kind of mess them up is their hesitance. We'll see if that's going to be a problem this round. They're kind of moving their way up bracket and carpet, but CyberZen's in some pretty good positions. They have like no util left.
Oh, Bottle is so close. Just Cause is aware as well, hearing that reload right next to him. Bomb is actually on site. I'm not sure what's gone down. The bomb has actually gone down. So of the CTs, and now in the 2v3, it looks like we are going to see a retake coming in from Banana. Bomb being planted quite late, but HZ gaining some ground, pushing in, making a little bit of noise. And Leaf just looking the wrong direction. Good trade from Hurricanes. Wannafly, sorry. Viva will go down. Wannafly holding strong there. 2k for him, 2 for Just Cause, 1 for Leaf. And Lucid managing to pick up that round.
Oh, they came very late up bracket there, but they still make it work, and that's going to cook the CyberZen's economy pretty hard. Bottle's gone for the hero AWP. Good on you, mate. They've gone straight back to it. An AWP on Savage, that means a buy round, not to mention the fact that they really have been employing this good old throw down the late util strategy time and time again.
But that can be countered if Lucid do change up the pace. Not sure if we are going to see that. There is a lot of holding W going on from second mid to mid, and this may just be what they need to do. Savage fully blinded, and that is out of his hand. Zendi doing the honours there. Hurricane's trying to hold strong, but gets traded out by Niffy in the under 4v3. There's only Bottle here to hold. He will find the first, running out of bullets, gets his head taken completely off by Niffy as well. 2k for him. Now it's looking rough for CyberZen to pull this one back, but isolated at mid. Leaf doing a bit of damage, but down to 52 himself. Wanna fly. 10 HP, mollied out. Only taking 1 damage from the molly. Now Niffy looking for the angle, finds one, has to go for the reload. Now 1v3. Viva looking good, but not for long. Nice trade. Niffy, 4k for him that round. Picking up what I believe would be the MVP. And now only 4 behind CyberZen, so slowly crawling their way back here on the T side. Lucid, yeah, looking pretty good, doing what we didn't really expect them to do. And CyberZen's economy is in the bin.
Just buy again.
Just buy and buy again. If the buy doesn't work.
Paycheck to paycheck. No point investing.
I did want to say earlier, actually, we saw at halftime Zendi was like 15 for 9. So that just showed how many rounds he had to save, considering they only won 4. Yeah. 4 on the CT side.
Dear God, CyberZen, please stop. I can't handle this. Like.
You said you're a man that isn't about the numbers, but it's still making you feel a little rough inside, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the numbers that I'm looking at that makes me feel less bad is the fact that they're in the lead. So they can afford to put themselves in a bad position.
But only so much.
Yeah. Especially on the CT side. Like, you're playing with Fireboys. Like, CT economy is so, like, up and down. You could just lose it all in a second. That's a pretty nice reaction from Niffy. He's on point tonight.
Yeah, he's hitting some dirty shots. Well, here we are, Just Cause looking to crack open the B site. 2 CT players still here. No real crossfire. One of them even hiding at Coffin there. That'll be Viva. Bob flashing himself in to get aggressive. No one finding any frags, although Viva and Savage have somehow managed to find 1 frag each, bringing it to a 2v3. And TB coming in quickly. The bomb's only about to go down. It looks like he may try to kill the planter, although deciding against it. One way on the edge of the smoke as it does start to dissipate. And now HZ blinded. Dink comes out. TB falls down. Now HZ 1v3 with a CZ. Cannot do it. Niffy too sharp here, as you mentioned before. 2k for him this round. Now he'd be very close to the top. He is on the top. 18 for 14. 198 utility damage. Flashes all over the shop. Savage, 21 enemies flashed. I really like how they've incorporated that stat on the board. 191 ADR for Bottle. Is this just in the second half?
This is the second half.
Oh, so second half, 246 ADR. Huge Just Cause. Doing that work.
They're going to save. Enough is enough.
Like, if Lucid do manage to take this map, do you think they can take it 2-0 on the second?
Possibly. I feel like they're a momentum and confidence-based team, so I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I feel like you shut down a couple of these boys and they get a bit down in the dumps. And the thing is, like, right now it's mainly Niffy and Zendi playing super good on this map in particular. But, like, literally all 5 of these guys can do exactly the same as what those 2 are doing right now. If you let all of them get some confidence rolling, you're getting a bit scared as CyberZen. Especially because, like, HG's having a really good game this game, Savage is having a really good game this game, but I don't believe in the consistency of some of these CyberZen players, so map to map, I don't think they have the firepower to be able to contest with Lucid Dream, which is where things get a bit scary and they're going to need to out-strategize them a little bit.
And there's that deagle that you were talking about you hated.
How hard was that? That wasn't hard.
Not very hard at all, although the boost coming out over the smoke. Niffy not going to spot it. That head is going to be seen. Leaf, though. Too sharp. Finds one on the bottle and Wanna Fly shutting HZ down. Now Viva last alive in a 1v3. Deagle in hand, 44 HP remaining. And he has actually found himself that AK with 27 bullets in the clip, so he won't have to go for the reload, but it looks like the save will come out for CyberZen.
Yep. Just holding on to an extra gun and a Molotov makes a difference as well. He can drop a gun over the HD, which is going to make all the difference in the world for him. He can buy a kit and a molly and all the bells and whistles now that he will be dropped that gun. He could even drop Savage and all, maybe. Don't know whether it'll be. Yeah, he's probably going to drop Savage and all. That's what I would do. Don't want Savage to be having to go for glass cannon or light armor or something like that. But they're going to go all rifle. Fair enough. That's what they're feeling in this round in particular. Lucid Dream on a little bit of a roll here, but their money doesn't really reflect that as much. Haven't been as responsible holding on to all those rifles. Only Leaf and Wannafly have lots of cash in the bank, so their friends are definitely going to be mooching off them a little bit.
It shows just how crazy the T side can be. Like CyberZen, they've had every opportunity to hold on the CT side, and they look much better than Lucid, but in this half, Lucid has just been getting the shots off that they weren't able to connect in the first. And it's definitely allowed Lucid back in the game, as the score suggests.
And they're playing very decisively. It's simple tactics, but it's good to see.
Yeah, no real hesitation.
They're really death squatting. That's what they're doing, and it's just like they're getting the trades in, they're getting their high impact players in there. They've lost a lot of damage to utility, and it's again Bottle. Look, he's so much further. This time HD will be able to trade out, but the rest of the team's just solo, like passive on site.
And look at this, basic trades all the way onto site. Savage not going to be checked though, finds one and a second, and now it's turned back in the favour of CyberZen. Viva on the fast rotate up mid. May hear some footsteps. Leaf here at default. Great positioning from Savage, but unfortunately he will go down. Leaf with 20 HP remaining, has 40 seconds to plant the bomb and doesn't have to commit to it just yet. In the molly, Viva's gone for the play, and Leaf just shuts him down completely. A couple of bullets burning at the feet, and Lucid find an 11th. Now almost about to take that lead.
It's just the death squad approach and getting the good trades in, and I mean, Savage is in the corner. The setup is more or less sort of like a two of us fight and die, and then two of us is crossfiring the side or whatever, but it's just glorified 1v1s at the end of the day, and Savage, he cleans up too, and they still don't win the round.
Even like Bottle in that position, he didn't pick up a frag, but he connected so many bullets.
Yeah, and that was a molly onto top mid as well, which did a tremendous amount of damage.
Yep. Great. It was a great hold. It just was a bad decision right at the end to jump in the Molotov, you know? There was 40 seconds remaining. He didn't really need to make a play.
Yeah, he could have slow played that one a little bit more, and definitely the onus was on the T there to put the bomb down. You don't have to go and give him the aim duel straight away. It's going to be the jungle side setup this time with only one player in pit, very little utility, and some lackluster weaponry. Again, another juicy nade as they go take bracket. You can see CyberZen really starting to react to the pace of this brackets control coming out from Lucid Dream, and just dropping them the utility at the appropriate times and getting a lot of value for their money.
It's good to see that they have that reactive play though, and they're not just trying to do the same strategy over and over again until it works. Savage finding some damage through the smoke, but not quite enough. Going back to Archers, using that pillar to try to survive. He will manage to find a consolation frag, but fast trade, Niffy doing a great job. Pick that one up. Viva smoking CT off, and the flank coming in, but Bottles decided to swap weapons. That will allow Niffy to pick up yet another frag, and in the 3v3, Niffy pins it in. Viva with the 180, absolutely shutting Just Cause down there. Great game sense.
This is a pretty lackluster buy, if it is going to be a buy at all, coming out of Lucid Dream. Will indeed. Two players are going to have to drop AKs. They're going to have very little utility, and one guy's not going to have an AK.
Well, as you said, pistols are broken. So, it won't matter too much.
Forced by every round. Nice, CyberZen. Good job. Alright. So, both teams' money pretty cooked, but both teams have a fair bit of utility, so this is going to be an important one. You want to save your best strategy for this round, that's for sure.
Bottle just allowed to stand at banana with his knife out.
He wants to leave. Like, Mr. Savage, can I go now?
Imagine if Lucid were just there and they're like, hey, let's just go through the smoke and see what happens, and just find a guy.
It's not too uncommon, actually. It's a bit of a counter to that Nana play there. Just the one flash over the top, underarm one through the smoke, and you get in there. try to put a lot of pressure on that solo player, and if you can catch them with lack of utility on that rotator, you can definitely force your hand on that B side. If you get that pick, it's a freebie, but even if you don't, you can definitely make that interesting. Savage is having a great game here. He's really winning this game for CyberZen. He's had so many impact plays time and time again. HE had a great time on that T side. Again, it's going to be 4 players on the A site for CyberZen, which doesn't necessarily constitute a free win, does it? No,
as we've seen in the first half, of course. Although great timing on the Molotov, buying some more time for CyberZen.
Where's HD at? He's still... no, he's on pit, so he can drop that molly and even a flash maybe for some of his teammates as they come up deep. Playing anti. You really need to drop that molly. That's a gimme right there.
20 seconds, Lucid leaving it quite late, straight into the meat grinder. TB finding nothing. Waterfly shutting them.
Called his name. Oh my god, Savage.
The timing, perfect. 4 seconds to get the bomb planted. Leaf will retrieve the bomb and plant it behind mid-box. Savage, though, allowed to push up and position himself behind default. Although the timing, look at this, playing cat and mouse. Savage just waiting for the push,
beautiful,
which will eventually come out. Leaf clearing dig, understandable, but the timing just not going in his favour. CyberZen, great job to find that 14th round. Finally connecting a couple of rounds here on the CT side.
Yeah, now they're in a very awkward position for Lucid Dream. CyberZen's money is quite low, so potentially you could go for the force here. Wonderfly's got a sword off.
The ultimate disrespect weapon.
And he's got a P250. That's definitely a misbuy. You don't buy a pistol and a sword off in a high pressure game like this.
Yeah,
this
no, that was 100% a misbuy. Look at that.
Wow,
Everyone else.
They've done it twice. What? 2 of them have done it.
Oh, that's... I've got questions that I would like to ask these guys.
You've got the pistols for the long range and the shotguns for the close range. And that's
it.
Yep, it's really bad. It's just still really bad, isn't it? Oh. Yep, it just still doesn't work, does it?
He could get some damage off here, though.
No, he's just missed his window. Like, that was his window. Running through the apps there, that was his window. Now his shotgun is just terrible.
And they know that he's got it because he shot it a few times.
That's great. Look at that skin. Wow.
It is a nice skin.
It's like autumn leaves. Okay. Well, they're just going to lose. Oh, please,
thanks, MC.
Stop. Make it stop.
I like the spin as he pulled the knife out too. That was great timing. Oh, and the collat. Viva just shutting Lucid down. Almost getting that one through the wall. Spotting the head and flicking. Reactions of a god. But in a 1v5, Just Cause last alive. As the CZ in hand. Going for the long range Nova. And he will be flanked. Bottle Jr. too damn sharp with the UMP.
Who's Bottle Senior?
I don't know, maybe Dad.
Dad taught him everything he knows.
Bottle Dad.
Bottle Dad. There's a large bottle. You want a large or a small?
I've got a large bottle.
Okay.
Is this the Dad bottle? Or is the 3-litre one?
I think that's Bottle Senior. You're drinking out of Bottle Senior.
Okay, so... I don't know, we won't name it just in case there's sponsor clashes or whatnot. But I have a large bottle.
Serious liquid. Questionable, to be sure. Okay, it's attack for Lucid Dream. You waited the whole game to take attack. There were so many opportunities you could have taken attack and had a talk. I mean, I guess those techs. What do you mean? They're not allowed to talk in the technical pauses.
Oh, no one ever would. Not online.
No one would do that.
Admins all over behind everyone.
Behind each of them, there's 10 admins.
For every game. Imagine if it got to the point when that was a real.
I think if it ever got to that point, we would probably just scrap online leagues and just put that money into LAN.
Yeah, that would make sense. Fly them to you rather than flying your employees to them. Well, everyone's trustworthy, right? You know,
yeah.
As we've seen recently.
Very pretty skins for some of these players. Wish I had nice skins. It's going to be an important round indeed.
I like the tunes.
Me too.
The background music.
I never get sick of them. Well, CyberZen, they have got a pretty decent buy, all things considered. I mean, they have an ump, but the main thing is they have 2 to 3k in the bank for most of their players. So even if they do lose to this lackluster buy from the Lucid Dream boys, then they can get straight back into things. And especially if it gets close and no bomb plant, a lot of these Lucid Dreams boys will have to rebuy. And it'll be another bad buy for them.
Looks like the strat is Wanna bought that shotgun to try to do some damage. And now he's just going to bait his teammates to pick up an AK after they fall down. He's got the full utility, the full kit. Looking to try to flash his teammates in on the angles.
Yeah, great way to lose an important game like this.
Viva, though, gets the leg, falls down.
Are they going to hesitate, though?
They do not.
Okay.
They've made the call. They have noticed that it has been a solo player here.
There's no retake utility for the CTs as well.
No, they've used it all early.
That's a save. Yeah, that's a hard save. You've got enough room round-wise. Just let that one go.
We'll take the pumpkin. Oh, I was actually thinking. So, you know how the pumpkins are in the game at the moment?
Yep.
That has given up so many people's positions in recent games that I've played.
Yeah.
I don't know in competitive matches, but just
it's
that
happened.
metal sound.
I've seen a clip of it, yeah. I've seen somebody, they were walking, there was a CT in Sandwich on train.
Yep.
And they kicked the pumpkin into Olaf, and there was a T in the corner. And
yep.
Olaf, and he just was like, oh. Then he just peeked him and headshot him.
Oh, that
was at Blast, I think.
That's rough. I feel like that should be taken out of the game. Oh, Savage was ready.
You should
cover.
be able to toggle it. Like, isn't it? There's even a holiday mode command.
Is there?
Yeah. There's like a. It's I forget what it's called, but you can, like, turn it off on your server. I don't know why they don't just do that.
It's probably something that is just generally overlooked though, until those moments where it does, you know, affect the round.
It's already affected plenty of rounds, and they still don't do anything. Halloween's over. It's Christmas. Where are my Santa chickens?
Santa chickens. The fairy lights coming in on the maps too. I like the fairy lights.
Yeah.
What's the map that still has the fairy lights on it? I think it's... Is it Dust?
Not sure.
No. Can't actually remember. But there was one that had the fairy lights the other day and I was like, oh cool. This map's got fairy lights, and I came to the realization that there's always fairy lights on the map. It might actually be Train. Somewhere on Train.
Perhaps. Well, this is an important one. And Lucid just really hammering the same thing home again, aren't they? They do like this second mid to bracket.
Although Viva this time only has a Famis to hold the B site, so if Lucid do head back to B, they could be gifted yet another round. HZ trying to play around the smokes there, looking for some damage, but he's got himself the info, falling back to site. Savage now playing up at Graveyard behind the barrel. Good positioning, just cause hasn't been spotted. Savage a little slow on the trigger, but HZ doing most of the work there. And then Savage finding the final two frags to shut it down. 16-12 will be the scoreline of the first map. CyberZen coming out as the winners here in the best of three on Inferno.
And you really have to point out the fact that Lucid didn't have much on their T side there. I mean, like, they had that A execute. There was one round where they ran the execute as a fake and then went back to B and caught Viva off guard. But, like, apart from that, we really didn't see them do very much except for, like, take apartments control and then take the bracket, and then sometimes they would throw an exec, sometimes they would try and, like, split B. But they just did pretty much the same thing most of that T side. And you saw already, I mean, Savage playing that very, very uncommon barrel position. They were already, he didn't even have to do anything there. They were already adapting very quickly to what Lucid Dream was throwing at them. So, I mean, after some of those force spy shenanigans, they closed it out quite convincingly, and we'll be heading over onto Lucid Dream's pick of Dust.
I'm pretty excited for Dust.
Yeah.
I don't get to see it often. The only times I've really seen it recently is in a lot of the Renegades games for the Pro League over in the NAC.
Dust, don't they?
Yeah, it's been good to see. It used to be one of my favourite maps, actually, competitively back in the day. Not too many teams played it, but it was just that satisfaction of actually seeing some proper executes on sites rather than just rush B or rush A or rush mid, you know?
I mean, I always used to like, on the old versions of Dust, just doing like the fast cats or the fast mid to Bs, but definitely this one has some more tactical options that you can do. Not sure if we'll see that from Lucid Dream, though. I guess we'll have to find out, right?
Yep. I'm excited.
Me too. Yeah, I don't think there's really too much else to say. I mean, just want to head into the next map fairly soon. I mean, we have, 2 more maps potentially here.
Potentially.
Some more interesting Counter-Strike. I mean, felt like Lucid Dream could have come away with that one, but didn't quite take advantage of some of the things that, some of the opportunities that they were given, perhaps. Also, I feel like CyberZen didn't play perfectly either, but once they got their guns really rolling and stuff like that, they were able to get on top of things pretty convincingly. I mean, the times when it was scrapping, Lucid Dream were able to come away with it about half the time, I felt like, and then the rest of the time felt like CyberZen, there was no contest.
Yeah. I don't know, but there were rounds that Lucid Dream should have won. I think it was that round we saw before when Hurricanes... No, that was CyberZen's round, actually. No, Lucid Dream did... I'm confused. I don't know, too many crazy things went on that game.
That was a great play from Savage, though.
Yeah,
he went crazy this game. He almost dropped a 30. If not, he did drop a 30. I think it was 29 or 30 frags by the end.
And this is just a Savage highlight reel.
Yeah,
3
pretty
clips
much.
in a row.
He really did win that game for CyberZen. I felt like he bailed him out of a lot of tough situations. HE really got them rolling on the T side as well. But yeah, I think that was his 30th. Was that one tap his 30th? I'm pretty sure it was.
It could have been. Because
Yeah.
I did see him on 28 the round before, and he just got the 2K, so he would have dropped 30 that map.
Yeah, you definitely... You know what helps dropping 30 bombs though, Mac?
What?
If you have some nice MSI peripherals and you know, you sort of like... graphics cards, get some more FPS, get some smoother gameplay and stuff like that, you know. That
Can never have too much FPS, especially with the crazy amount of hertz on their monitors that are coming out nowadays too.
I mean, I've got a 240 and I thought I would be fine for FPS, but definitely when it's hotter and stuff like that, you know, my computer can't handle it. I'm not even getting 240 FPS, so maybe I need a bit of an upgrade. So, yeah.
Everyone could do with an upgrade.
Yep, definitely. So I guess we'll find out what's going to happen in the next map. Should be a pretty good one. Heading on to Dust of Lucid Dreams map picks. So we'll see you then.